Hey guys, what's going on? James here. And first things first, you're going to say, James, where are you? What are you doing? Look, I know this isn't my normal recording setup. I apologize for that. I'm actually a groomsman in a wedding right now, so I'm working with what I got. But I still wanted to get the day 3 minicamp video out for all of you guys. And again, I do have the notes from our friends over at pewterreport.com, specifically Matt Matera today. I will have a link to the Pewter Report's YouTube channel. Go subscribe to them. They do phenomenal content. But I've taken the points from the article, abbreviated them, and we're going to be talking about, again, some of the players who did good in this final day of Buccaneers mandatory minicamp practice, and some of the players who did not do so good. So, with that being said, let's get started by talking about Tom Brady. Now, Tom Brady actually did a very good job of spreading around the football in this practice today. He actually had multiple touchdown passes to Mike Evans, Chris Godwin, Travis Johnson, which was a very interesting connection in my opinion, Leonard Fournette, and Cameron Brate. Now, Travis Johnson and Mike Evans actually had multiple good plays from Tom Brady besides those touchdown passes. And look, you would expect that from Mike Evans, Rob Gronkowski, Cam Brate, Chris Godwin, but Travis Johnson, came out of nowhere. A guy who Jason Light is very excited about. He gave a quote, I'm paraphrasing here, but he had talked about how he was very excited about the potential that Travis Johnson has and what he could potentially do. Just another guy in that mix, man. There just keeps on being more and more people in this mix competing for jobs. Travis Johnson is one of them. But talking about another receiver who did some good things, it's Scottie Miller yet again. Didn't have as good of a practice as he did, say, yesterday, but he still made a couple of good plays with Tom Brady. Still got a couple of nice passes. So that's always good to see continuity there. Scottie Miller is still doing Scottie Miller things. Jalen Darden returned to practice during this day 3 of the mandatory minicamp. He did a very good job of coming in and just returning from his injury and making the most of his opportunities. It was a good thing to get him back in there and working. He got a lot of work in with Kyle Trask and with Ryan Griffin. So not making those connections yet with Tom Brady or, say, Blaine Gabbert, but he's still doing good work with, Kyle Trask, who's a young, obviously, rookie quarterback who's been doing some good things, and Ryan Griffin, who is still a solid veteran. I'm sure Jalen Darden will eventually work his way up to Blaine Gabbert and to Tom Brady when everything is said and done. Mike Evans had another 1v1 versus Carlton Davis in this practice, and this time, hey, Mike Evans got the better of Carlton Davis there. He had a very nice play in terms of making an adjustment in midair, doing Mike Evans type things. It was good coverage by Carlton Davis, but, Mike Evans is Mike Evans. Also then talking about a quote that Bruce Arians gave in regards to Mike Evans. He said he looked fantastic today. Arians said, great shape, probably the best shape that I've seen Mike in this time of year, which is a great thing to see. Obviously, you want guys coming in, being in shape. We talked about Rob Gronkowski being in really good shape around this time for mandatory minicamp, and Mike Evans is in great shape as well. These guys, they just won the Super Bowl, and they want to continue to win. So, yeah, they're going to be in the best shape of their lives as early as they can be just to prove that, yeah, they want this. So, moving on, you also had Devin White versus Giovani Bernard. Devin White won this one in terms of a pass coverage situation versus Giovani Bernard, which is good for Devin White, to get that pass coverage opportunity, whatnot there, and really show what he can do. Ross Cockrell had an interception today on Blaine Gabbert, and according to Matt Matera, he was one of the best defensive guys on the field out there, and he's pressing for slot cornerback opportunities, which is very interesting in my opinion. We'll see what Ross Cockrell can do, but overall, I've been very impressed with what I've heard from Ross Cockrell. It sounds like he's doing exactly what I wanted him to do, which was overall proving that, hey, the depth in the Buccaneers cornerback room is better than a lot of people are giving him credit for or giving them credit for, and Ross Cockrell can do the job. And there isn't an insane amount of talent difference between the top 3 guys in that Buccaneers cornerback room and, say, a guy like Ross Cockrell. So I'm very happy to see that continuity of good play and really have Ross Cockrell prove that, yeah, he is a good backup and a fringe starter type guy at that. Another player who had an interception was Grant Stuard, friend of the channel. He had a interception on one play, and he also had a pass breakup as well that was in the wide receiver's hands. Grant Stuard came over and knocked the ball out of the wide receiver's hand. So very good to make a play like that. Obviously, Grant Stuard, he's been looking great. I mean, he's been making plays since rookie minicamp, and I'm not just saying that because of bias, because he's a friend of the channel. He legit has been making some really good plays with a super heated competition at that middle linebacker group. I mean, Grant Stuard really is setting himself apart right now, and you love to see it. You absolutely do love to see it. Antoine Winfield Jr. had 2 pass breakups, one against Tyler Johnson, his former Minnesota teammate there, so very cool to get that kind of matchup there. You always love to see stuff like that. Jason Pierre-Paul had a pass breakup against Tom Brady at the line of scrimmage. We've seen that a couple of times. Will Golston had a pass breakup at the line of scrimmage. Anthony Nelson's, I believe, done it a couple of times now, and Jason Pierre-Paul is joining in that fun as well. So good job. This is actually the first time we've mentioned JPP. Obviously, he wasn't there for OTAs. He wasn't there for rookie minicamp, but he's making some plays now during the final day of mandatory minicamp, so you like to see that. OJ Howard is starting to work a little bit more on the side, getting ready to practice, getting ready to play some football. I think, and there's no source for this is just me thinking off the top of my head, I think there's a legitimate chance that OJ Howard could be ready to go by, full-on training camp when everybody gets to go show up and watch OJ Howard and watch the boys. OJ Howard could definitely be there, be ready to go. So pay attention to that. Khalil Davis had a couple of nice plays in terms of pass rushing that would have either been a sack or been a pressure on the quarterback. Pretty good. Khalil Davis, he is a young backup defensive lineman who can do some really good things. And he's trying to prove himself. He's trying to make a name for himself, solidify a backup job. And just overall make the most of his opportunities. He's doing that now. So congratulations to Khalil Davis to make more plays. Not the first time we've mentioned him either. So awesome to see that continuity. Awesome to see him continue to do some stuff. Gabbert, talking about some of the backup quarterbacks, did look a little inconsistent at times, which does suck, but overall, I think that he did a pretty all-right job. But Kyle Trask specifically did some very interesting things. He was heating up more as practice went on. Started off the day, yeah, he had a couple of incompletions. It was not a fun scene. But then towards the end of practice, man was firing off touchdown passes. He had a touchdown pass, 1 to Tanner Hudson, who we've mentioned a couple of times now in these videos. But then number 2, CJ Prosise, who this is the first time we've mentioned CJ Prosise's name, be it in the mandatory minicamp, be it in OTAs, be it in the rookie minicamp, like you name it, that's what it is. So good job for CJ Prosise there to make an opportunity there for himself. Good job for Kyle Trask to not let the early jitters get to him and really just warm up and start to be really effective in practice. And by the way, didn't see any information on which guys were practicing, which guys weren't practicing. I talked about Jalen Darden coming back, talked about OJ Howard getting some work in. Curtis Riley, who we talked about yesterday, who had a really nice play against Tom Brady, getting an interception. No word that I saw in terms of whether or not he was practicing in this final day of mandatory minicamp. I would assume not. I would assume as a precautionary thing, they probably just said, hey, take these 6 weeks, heal up your foot or whatever's going on with the foot, and then come back for training camp and let's go. Because it seems like Curtis Riley really did make a really good impression on the coaches and whatnot. He was working quickly up that ladder as a backup safety. So we'll see how he's feeling. We'll see how all the other guys recover from their injuries as well. But as a final note here, guys, I do have a quote from Bruce Arians talking about Kyle Trask, where he said it got a lot faster for him this week. Arians said of Trask's minicamp performance. And then he said, I think he matched the speed. He's still got a ways to go with seeing all the things our defense shows him, but I'm pleased with where he's at. He's still got a long way to go, but he's got plenty of time to get there. So again, more praise for Kyle Trask, right? From Bruce Arians, the head coach. Byron Leftwich has been giving him a lot of praise. Clyde Christensen, Buccaneers quarterbacks coach, gave him so much stinking praise. Compared him to Andrew Luck in certain situations. Now, that was in terms of his, mental excitedness towards the game and getting ready for the game, but that's still a great comparison to make. And even Bruce Arians says, yeah, I love where Kyle Trask is right now. I love what he's doing. So overall, it seems like Kyle Trask, he's been getting better and better as these practices, as these offseason activities have been going on. He looked good in the rookie minicamp. He looked better in the OTAs, and now he's looking even better in the mandatory minicamp. I've said it before, I'll say it again. Look, in this upcoming training camp, it's going to be great to see what Kyle Trask can do connecting with Jalen Darden. Like, I need that in the preseason, guys. I need that. in the preseason. So I think a lot of you guys agree with me. We're all very excited to see Jalen Darden, see what he can do, and I know there's a lot of people out there who are excited to see Kyle Trask as well. But overall, guys, that's it for day number 3 of the Tampa Bay Buccaneers mandatory minicamp. This is it. You know, now the team will not meet up for a 6-week portion or 6-week period now until the official training camp starts. I'll still have plenty of content in between that time. I've got a lot of ranking videos to talk about with Pro Football Focus, so it should be a lot of fun. But what do you guys think about all the players that I mentioned? Some of the guys who did good, some of the guys who may have looked a little bit inconsistent. Give me your guys' thoughts. But thank you guys so much for watching this video. Again, I know it's a weird setup. I know the camera might have been shaky at times. I know it was a weird old thing, so I thank you guys for bearing with me. We will be back soon with my normal setup. But thank you guys so much for watching. Hope y'all enjoyed. And I will see you all in the next video or the next live stream. But until then, and as always, guys, goodbye for now, and go Bucs.